the Schmo with the pro, with the living legend, the movie star, the former UFC welterweight champion, the Hall of Famer, George Rush St-Pierre here in Las Vegas. Just finished training in town for ADCC. How we doing?
Doing fantastic, my friend.
Getting some back flips in, some front flips in, some cartwheels. The Schmo just saw the end of your training.
Yeah, it's my post-workout. If you don't practice it, you lose it. So try to stay young.
Speaking of staying young, we love the hairstyle. You got the blonde tips just like the Schmo. Coincidence? I think not.
That's right. This is my idol right there.
Nah, it's the other way around, man. The Schmo's just doing whatever he can to look and feel like a legend. Now talk to the Schmo for a second, man. Let's talk some fight. UFC 279 that finished up last week. Khamzat, Chimaev, he didn't make weight. They switched the card around. Do you think there should have been a stiffer penalty for Khamzat Chimaev missing weight? And what do you make of him competing in the welterweight division in the future?
Well, yeah, he needs to make weight. I mean, when you miss weight, it's a big disrespect not only to your opponent but to the sport. But we don't know what happened. You know, maybe there's a reason, maybe there's a medical reason or something. You know, so when you don't know, you don't know. But for sure, in the future, if he misses weight another time, maybe that will prevent him from having a title shot. You know.
Do you think he should be competing at 185 pounds next, or getting another chance at making weight at 170 pounds for the next fight?
Yeah, I don't have any data or any information on what happened, but maybe, you know, to give him the chance to, you know, to go back at 170 if he wants to, you know, but he can't miss weight, you know, like missing weight, it's hard to forgive, you know.
From what you've seen from him so far, do you think he's ready to challenge for the 170-pound strap, a division where you've held gold?
Well, as a fan, I would like to see Kamaru Usman get a revenge, because if someone deserves it, it's him, you know, and maybe perhaps Chimaev have a shot against the winner of this fight.
What's the best advice you have for Usman? Because you had your situation with Matt Serra. You revenged the loss. You got the job done. He's in a similar situation. What's the best advice you have for the former champion?
Well, I know for him that I've talked to him. I had the chance to spend some time with him in Paris. I know it's a hard time for him, because when you lose, you know, it's not a pleasant experience. But he has an opportunity to take that and turn it around to make a 180 degree, and I think it just will, if he's successful, it will add to his legacy. Because when things go well, everybody is good. But when things go bad, when you make a mistake, and everybody makes a mistake, you know, you have a bad day at work, it happens to everybody, you know. And I'm not saying that to, you know, to diminish Leon Edwards. I don't think it was you know, a fluke. I think Leon Edwards planned it very well. It was an amazing setup, one of the most beautiful knockouts we've seen. But what I'm saying is that I think Usman can learn from that experience and come back better next time.
Seems like Usman's got the right mindset heading into the rematch. Another star in the UFC, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. From what you've seen from him so far, what do you make of his chances holding a gold strap in the 155-pound weight division?
Oh yeah, he's got all the skills. He's very charismatic. I mean, I can't wait to see him fight next. Yeah, he's got the star power, the skills, and the talent. We'll see what the future holds for him, you know?
And the charisma on the mic?
Absolutely, 100%. What a character.
Someone you know well, Anderson the Spider Silva, he just faced off with Jake Paul twice. Every time Jake Paul's been boxing, he's been disrespectful to his opponents. What do you make of Jake Paul being respectful towards Anderson the Spider Silva, and what you've seen from those two face-to-face twice now?
Well, I think as when we're going to get close to the fight, the heat will start rising, and maybe we'll see some clash. But, you know, I don't think there should be any emotion, you know, like, he knows he's fighting a legend, you know, maybe I think it's one of his idol. And every time we see Jake Paul, he's improving at an incredible rate. So that's the thing about him, you know. People make fun, they say he's a YouTuber. He's not only a YouTuber, he's a fighter now. He's more a fighter than a YouTuber. So he's a very good boxer. He's got great power. So I can't wait to see this fight. You know, we get the legend on one side, Anderson Silva, you know what I mean, who's boxing. And Jake Paul, that is improving and fantastic rate every fight. So how these two guys will match up, it's very interesting.
What do you make of the situation going on at UFC 280? Charles Oliveira, everybody doubts this man. He's fighting Islam Makhachev. But if you look at the betting lines and stuff, Islam Makhachev is the favorite. What do you make of that fight and that situation and the betting odds against Charles do Bronx Oliveira?
So my pronostic for this fight is that if the fight stay generally in the center of the octagon, that will give the advantage to Oliveira. However, if the fight goes mostly towards the fence, near the fence, that will give the advantage to Islam Makhachev. And the reason for that is I believe Makhachev can neutralize his opponent's best ability by using the fence. You know what I mean? And Oliveira, I believe, on the other side, he need a little bit more space, you know, especially to move his hips, to be able to strike and to do some of his favorite submission. So I think, therefore, for this reason, that's how the fight will go down, depending of who is able to implement his game plan.
The Schmo thinks GSP has the best exit from the UFC, reclaiming gold, beating Michael Bisping, choking him out, becoming champ, the middleweight champion. Last week, Nate Diaz, switch of opponent, Tony Ferguson, gets the job done, gets the submission. Nate Diaz walking off in the sunset. What's the best advice you have for that fellow legend for the next chapter of his career?
I'm very happy for him. You know what I mean? He came out on top, beautiful ending to whatever he does next. It's up to him, but he's got the power to choose what he wants to do, and he's going to be paid accordingly. You know what I mean? So you need to be smart in this business. And what I'm saying to the young fighter, you know, it's you should retire from the sport, not let the sport retiring you.
You train with some of the best to date. One guy, Gordan Ryan, he's competing ADCC. I think he's won like 57 straight. What do you think is the secret sauce? Is anyone going to dethrone this guy? He's like the Michael Jordan of grappling.
Well, I think it's the knowledge. We're all trained in jiu-jitsu, and most of the best guy now in the team, we're trained by John Danar, and he's the best trainer I ever had. If you combine all martial art, he's the best trainer I ever had. I think it comes down to knowledge. He's a PhD in philosophy, and I think his academic experience, he carried that with him into how he teach in martial art. But for me, it was mixed martial art. But now he's doing it with the guys that are competing in pure grappling. So I think that gives them a big edge. And on top of that, you got great athlete. Like, you know, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but you need to have something good to work with. And Gordan Ryan is an amazing athlete. All the guys that are in the team that are very successful, they are very good athlete and very smart guy, very fast learners. So you combine all of this together, and you have champions, you know.
We lost one of our own very, very too soon. Rest in peace, Elias Theodoro, fellow Canadian. You've trained with the man. What's the best memory you have for him and his legacy that he left on this great sport of mixed martial arts?
Well, the best memory, I didn't know he had cancer. It's very sad. He was a guy that he was always shining, you know, smiling, and you know, he was the type of guy that make you feel good. When you spend time with him, he was making people around in his surrounding feeling good, you know. And nobody knew. Like I guess only maybe his close circle knew, but like nobody knew. Like when he died, I mean, like it hit us like from nowhere. Like I never thought he was sick like this, you know. It's very sad.
Very, very sad. Can we get a final message for all the GSP fans out there worldwide?
Well, thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate, and I'm staying in shape. I'm trying to motivate my fans, keep my head in the game, and do what I love to do.
Looks like you can make 155 if Khabib ever came out of retirement. We still want to see that super fight.
Well, I since my last fight with Michael Bisping, I've discovered fasting, and it really changed my life because I'm suffering from a condition called ulcer colitis, and I was very sick. And fasting really transformed my life, and I just wish I would have known this before. And yeah, I feel very good now. I don't have any symptoms. I feel good, and yeah, it's something to investigate if some of you has maybe a stomach gut problem, you know.
Why not try it? He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. Las Vegas. We're out.